Have you ever looked at a painting and felt like you could just walk right into it? Well, that feeling, it's not magic. It's a carefully crafted illusion. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and learn the artist's secrets for turning a flat, boring canvas into a world that feels real. Let's dive in. So look at this. On the left, a blank canvas. It's flat, it's two-dimensional, it's got height, it's got width, but that's about it. But then you look to the right at Cloud Smote by James Michaelopoulos. It's the same kind of flat surface, but now, bam, it's a living, breathing world with streets that seem to go on forever and buildings that have real weight. So that's the big mystery we're cracking today, right? How in the world do artists conjure up a three-dimensional world on something that's totally flat? How do they create that illusion of depth where physically there's absolutely none? Well, the answer, my friends, is all about mastering one of these 7 essential elements of art: space. This is the artist's playground. It's all about the distances or areas around, between, and within everything you see in a piece. You get this right, and you can create entire universes. So where do you even start? With the most basic building block of them all, the relationship between an object and the area around it. This is what we call positive and negative space. It's a pretty simple idea, but it's incredibly powerful. The positive space is, the stuff, the main subject, the person, the tree. It's what your eye is naturally drawn to. But equally important is the negative space. That's the sky behind the tree, the empty air around the person. It's the space that actually defines the subject. Let's look at this in practice. In Nathaniel Barrow's sculpture, Bird, the bird itself is obviously the positive space. It's the star of the show. The simple background behind it, that's the negative space. But notice how that emptiness is what makes the bird pop, what gives it a clear shape. The two are working together. They need each other. Okay, so once an artist gets how objects and the space around them interact, the next move is to start building layers of depth. I want you to think of the canvas like a theater stage. It's not just one flat area. It's got a front, a middle, and a back. And these layers have names: the foreground, the middle ground, and the background. The foreground is what's right up in your face. It's going to be bigger, sharper, with lots of detail. The background is all that distant stuff, smaller, maybe a little blurry or washed out. And the middle ground? Well, that's just everything in between that connects the two. This photo is a perfect example. See the dark, choppy water at the very bottom? It feels closest to us, right? That's our foreground. The sailboat is the main event, sitting nice and comfy in the middle ground. And then way off in the distance, you can just make out those hazy mountains. That's the background. It gives the whole scene that sense of epic scale. So, creating those 3 planes isn't just a guessing game. Artists have a whole toolkit of specific, time-tested techniques to trick our eyes into seeing depth. So let's open up that toolbox and check out the 6 essential tricks of the trade. And here they are, the 6 essential tricks for creating the illusion of space. Think of this as the artist's secret cheat sheet. Now, let's do a quick rundown of what each of these really means. Okay, let's use this image to see some of these in action. Notice how the buildings overlap each other? That instantly tells our brain which ones are in front. The buildings closest to us are big and detailed. That's the trick of size. But look way down the street. See how they get smaller and kind of hazy? That's value and focus at play. And the way the whole street seems to get narrower and just funnel into the distance? That's the most powerful trick of all: linear perspective. They all work together to build the whole illusion. Now, while all of these tricks are super important, linear perspective is a true game changer. It's basically a mathematical system for creating realistic depth that completely revolutionized art back in the Renaissance. Let's take a closer look at how it works. Now, what's really cool here is that we're seeing 2 different types of perspective. On the left, in William Eggleston's photo of the railroad track, all the parallel lines, the tracks themselves, the edge of the path, they all seem to race toward one single point in the distance. That's called one-point perspective. But now look to the right. It feels like we're looking at the corner of something, doesn't it? The lines are heading off to 2 different points on the sides. And that is two-point perspective. And the magic ingredient behind this whole illusion has a name: the vanishing point. It's that exact spot on the horizon where parallel lines, like those train tracks, look like they touch and then just disappear. Our brain reads that as a massive cue for distance. All right, enough talk. The absolute best way to understand this stuff is to actually do it. So go on, grab a piece of paper, a pen, a napkin, whatever you've got. We're going to put a couple of these tricks into practice and create our very own illusion of space. Okay, ready? Let's give this a shot. First, just draw 5 wavy horizontal lines across your paper. These are going to be our layers of waves. Next, up near the top, draw a simple little boat, but make sure one of the waves in front of it covers up or overlaps the bottom of the boat. And finally, let's color it in. Use your darkest color for the waves at the very bottom, and then make each row of waves a little bit lighter as you move up the page.
And there you have it. Just by using overlap with the boat and value with your coloring, you've just created your own awesome illusion of deep space. Pretty cool, huh?
So why does this super simple drawing work so well? It all comes back to the tricks we just talked about. Those darker waves feel closer because of the rule of value. Darker tones always seem to advance towards you. And because you used overlap with that wave covering part of the boat, our brain instantly registers that as distance. It creates a simple but really effective sense of depth. Now that you're in on the secrets, you're going to start seeing them absolutely everywhere. It's like you've been given a new pair of glasses to see both art and the world in a whole new way. So here's the bottom line. Creating space isn't just about drawing what you see. It's about understanding how we see, and then using these clever techniques, positive and negative space, the 3 planes, and those 6 tricks to guide the viewer's eye into a world that you've built from scratch. Take one last look at this photograph. You see it now, right? See how the arches get smaller and smaller, a perfect example of size and repetition, and how they all seem to converge on one single point way in the distance? That is just a masterful use of one-point perspective, pulling your eye right down that hallway. So now the challenge is on you. As you go about your day, look down a long road, or a hallway, or a line of trees. Notice how buildings overlap, or how the hills in the distance are paler than the grass right at your feet. The artist's illusion is everywhere. The only question is, now that you know the secrets, what are you going to see?